When I was really in the thick of it, there was this one moment where I was holding Bagel, and she is one of my naked neck babies. She's not really a baby anymore. She's becoming an adult right now. But she was so sick, and she was so weak and so skinny. And this is going to sound crazy, but I felt how sick she was. It was like this wave that went over me, and I got so attached to her in that moment. Oh, I hope I can get through this. Hey guys, welcome to Chickenlandia. I am a backyard chicken educator here in the Pacific Northwest, but you can call me the president of Chickenlandia. So there's a few reasons why this video is really hard for me to shoot. I don't want to be that person that when you watch my channel, you think about how hard chicken keeping is. I want you to look at me and be inspired. I want you to see what's possible. I want you to feel like you can do it and that it won't be like this stressful experience. Of course, that's not how life goes all the time. I do have an open flock and I bring rescue chickens in all the time. Situations like this are bound to happen when someone has a flock that's open like mine. But the reason I'm dealing with this is because of the nature of my flock, and it doesn't have to be your experience. So another reason that I was really hesitant to make this video is because, I'm a human being and I don't want to be judged. I don't want to read comments where people are like, here's what you're doing wrong, or how could you let this happen? That makes me feel really, really vulnerable because, this is my life. It is not just some show that I'm putting on. Chickenlandia is everything to me. And I feel like a lot of times people are like, why are you being so dramatic about chicken keeping? Like, it's just chickens. You're saying it like changed your life. It changed everything for you. I think maybe the reason why some people don't get that is that there's a lot that I haven't shared on this channel about my life. And, I just haven't been ready to share it. I'm 47 years old and I have had a lot of life in those 47 years. Some of it is really weird. It's just not something that I've wanted to bring forward. A lot of it, my family doesn't even know about. So when I think about Chickenlandia and my chicken yard and how I feel peace when I'm out here, it's about redemption for me. It's about what can be possible after you've been through all kinds of stuff. You can find out who you are by connecting with nature in the chicken yard. And that's what's happened for me. And that's why this is so important to me. Like, the thought of losing it is just terrifying. So I'm not completely sure how this happened. I don't really know exactly how this illness came into my flock. I have a feeling it happened when I adopted some chickens, and I'm not going to show any footage of these chickens that I adopted because I don't want the person that I adopted them from to feel bad and to feel responsible for what's going on, because ultimately that they are not responsible. There's no way for me to prove, oh, this is chicken zero, like for sure the disease came from this chicken. I think what happened is I brought in these new chickens. I took all the precautions that you're supposed to take, but disease, sometimes chickens can really hide what is going on with them. And even if you quarantine and do everything that you're supposed to do, they can be carrying a pathogen that can become lethal to members of your flock or to them. The other thing that could happen, which is absolutely possible, is that my flock has some pathogen that they are immune to, and new chickens that come in cannot deal with that because they don't have that immunity. So that can also happen. So I brought some new chickens in. I lost 2 of them, and I did have the thought of just like, okay, like that's not normal. And it happened very quickly. So, I didn't think it could be something like coccidiosis. In older chickens, usually they become sick, and you can really tell that they're sick, and they're at least sick for a little bit, and then they will pass away from something like coccidiosis. So out of this same group of chickens that I brought into the flock, there was another chicken that has been sick over and over and over again. And she has cost me so much money because I keep getting her medication. So I got a fecal done at my vet, and she came back positive for coccidiosis. During all this, when all this was happening, I lost my call duck Marshmallow, otherwise known as Angry Marshmallow, because when I got her, she just had this grumpy look on her face. And she has always had some special needs. I did give her calcium. I gave her the best nutrition that I could give her, but she always laid these really, really small eggs. And I knew that I would likely lose her at some point due to some egg-laying complication, which is exactly what happened. A short time after I lost Marshmallow, I noticed that my chicken Bagel, who is one of the little naked neck babies that I got this spring, she was not doing well. She was like lethargic, she was like closing her eyes, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's got it now. Obviously, she's a baby. I raised her from the time she was a baby. So I was just like taking care of her like 24/7. I had her on medication. I will talk at some point about what I did, because I did both natural, and I also gave medication from my vet to the chickens that actually became ill. And I'm coming out into the chicken yard every day like, is there another chicken that is gonna get sick? And my friend was telling me, like, you've got old chickens, like you are gonna lose some, but it's really hard when I lose young ones. I didn't want to shoot a video during that time because I was like, I can't just sit here and be cheery and act like everything's fine when I am literally in this turmoil every day. On top of all of this, the final edit of my book was also due the other day, and it's going to come out in February of 2023, and I have to be like really meticulous about it because this is the final edit, so everything has to be perfect. So there's a section in this part where I'm talking about the end of a chicken's life, and I'm saying to the reader, no matter what happens, your chicken had a better life than most chickens on Earth. When they were with you, they got to peck and scratch, they got to chase bugs, they got to feel the grass, and most chickens don't have that. And so whatever happens, you are a good chicken keeper. And this is words that I wrote, because all the time I get messages from people, my chickens died, or my chickens are sick, and what did I do? What did I do wrong? And they feel terrible. And this is what I tell them. I say, you know what? It's about the experience that chicken had when they were with you. You made that possible. You gave them that opportunity to have that quality of life. And it's not like, we get an award at the end of life that's, like, oh, you lived really long, so you get this reward. It's about the quality of life while we're here. Not just for chickens, but for us too. And my chickens never had to experience living in a tiny cage while they were in Chickenlandia. I really feel like I kind of turned a corner when I read my own words. I went to bed and I really didn't know if Bagel was going to be alive when I woke up. But when I woke up, she was still there. She's got a lot of strength now. She doesn't want to be held. I was holding you a lot though, wasn't I? She's not quite ready to be out with the flock yet because she is contagious. We're going to keep going. Don't peck my face. So yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep changing the world one chicken at a time. Isn't that right, honey? And if you want to learn more, if you want to learn more about how you can change the world through chicken keeping, just click right here. It's 100% friendly, backyard chickens, education, and entertainment. And I know you're going to love it. And thank you guys. Thank you. Say thank you.